Complex recently released their list for the top hip-hop power players in media. Let me know your thoughts on the list that is topped by Elliot Wilson at 5, Charlamagne at 4, Kai Cenat at 3, Joe Budden at 2, and for 2024, DJ Academics tops Complex list. It looks like number 4 has a problem with number 5's position. On a recent episode of the Brilliant Idiots podcast, Charlamagne didn't hold back and believing Elliot Wilson is a little too high on the list.
Elliot, I don't think you should be number 5. Why are you upset that people are transcending hip hop? I'm not trying to be the 50-year-old person still complaining about not being on lists, beefing with screamers, doing goofy shit, starting shit, online with rappers just to keep my name relevant. No.
For my Facebook listeners out there, pretty much Charlamagne said, yo, Elliot, you're too high. I mean, I could go in further, but that was the basis of it. Make sure y'all tapped into my YouTube for audio clips that we cannot post on Facebook. Elliot Wilson did respond to Charlamagne. He said, F you. He said, I want all the smoke. Now, I don't know if this comment was for Charlamagne specifically, but Elliot did also tweet out that Charlamagne was a Hall of Fame career third mic crying about my top 5 status. Legacy, these nuts. I got great content on the way. Hashtag 2024, said Elliot. Many people believe that tweet was also in the direction of Charlamagne as well. Again, he did not put a name to it. I've always bigged up Elliot Wilson as legendary. I am, though, going to have to side with Charlamagne on this one. I'm sorry to legendary Elliot. For the year 2024, as a guy that's in the space, I'm covering this stuff on the ground day in, day out, and I'm looking for the good content. Be clear, I'm looking for the good content to cover day in, day out for my platform. I just got to be honest. I didn't see it from Elliot in 2024 or even backpedaling to 2023. The last piece of content that I vividly remember from Elliot was the B-Dot interview that him and B-Dot did with NBA YoungBoy, which that wasn't a good interview. And I love Elliot and I love B-Dot, and they got some classic moments in the culture, i.e. the Jay-Z interview, the Will Smith interview, the Drake interview. By the way, 3 of my favorite interviews of all time. All 3 of them. All 3 of them. But of late, I haven't really seen it from Elliot, which kind of gets me to my next point. Hate to bring myself into this one, but if it's not going to be about the interviews, which I'm completely fine with people that are in the space of talking to people, being on lists and leaving out some of us that create content day in, day out. And when I use us, I want to be clear in what I'm saying. People that deliver news daily, meaning a guy like me, I do billions of views a year, not millions, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm a humble dude. I don't even go into this bag often. Right? I do billions of views a year. Newsflash. Again, I probably should pop it more. It's really not my speed. But since this conversation went here, I just couldn't help myself or resist. I'm a pretty big deal in the South. Pretty big deal. Just be honest with you. Pretty big deal in the South. It's been that way for quite some time now. Ask a friend to ask a friend. You don't got to ask too many damn friends. And it's not just me, by the way. I want to show love and respect to other creators out there that I believe are big deals. Chig Smooth on the East Coast doing a phenomenal job. The story of the Joe Budden podcast, from my perspective, doesn't end without bringing in Chig's doing a great job. I'll leave it at him. I won't mention too many more. Man, no, hell no. Actually, I got another person I want to name. What Famous Animal is doing from my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, with the interviews, you ain't finna tell me that man is not culture and doesn't have power in the culture. Hell, I would say put Famous on the list before me or a Chigs. Go look back at some of the rappers that are popping in the game right now. A Boss Man D-Lo, a Glorilla, all those people that we're talking about, a lot of them did their first major freestyle on Famous's platform. So to me, There's no top 25 list that doesn't include a guy like Famous, a guy like Sean Cotton. Now, maybe Sean and Say Cheese said no to it, but I'm just being honest. I'm telling you the culture that I see day in, day out, and who tells those stories, and who are some of the players and tastemakers. If we're going to take interviews off the table, because I don't think Elliott did a lot of them in the last year. Again, this is not a lifetime achievement award. It's supposed to be year in, year out. There's a lot of us that's popping our shit more on a day-to-day basis. Again, if Drake's gonna mention your name in a feud, I get it. If you're relevant in the spaces or can get in rooms that a lot of us ain't in, I'm good with that. But if we're talking about who has their imprint on the culture, there are people that don't brush their teeth before they watch a TALIAFERRO video. That's a fact, by the way. There's people that tell me, there have been men to reach out to me in my DMs and tell me their relationship has been put on thin ice because of me making posts at 11, 12 at night, which is why I don't even like posting at midnight. I used to try to get some videos up at like midnight. I don't even do that no more because dudes were telling me, yo, Ferro, bruh, you posted, you got my phone ringing, I got your notifications turned on. Bruh, my girl thinking it's this, or maybe it is this, but you done brought some more attention to it. Bruh, Ferro, I gotta take the notifications off for you. You tripping, my boy. Like, that really has happened to me multiple times over, by the way. When we start talking about culture and power in the culture, we start talking about what the South represents. How can you avoid some of the South's tastemakers? That's just all I would say there. And I would even say this to Charlamagne. I was watching that Brilliant Idiots episode with you and the young lady Nala that you do it with that you clearly are invested in. I would say this, even her, right? Respect to her. You're pushing her. Look around at other entities, not necessarily me, I'm doing my thing, but there are other places that you could get in and actually push people to the next level or cosign. Because what I don't see from a lot of you guys that claim to be power players, who are y'all putting on? I see who Castanet's putting on. For everybody else, I mean, who is Academics putting on? Who is Joe Budden putting on? Who are, and I love Joe, right? Who's Charlamagne putting on? And it's working, right? Well, who's he putting on and it's working? Elliott, like where are y'all descendants? Where is y'all impact? So when we start talking about power, I'm sorry, like, I shouldn't be saying Adam No Jumper is putting, as a white man, is putting on more people than I see guys like that's on the top 5 of that list. I'm serious about this. When we start talking about power, who are you putting on with this power? I see some people trying, but it's failing. Do you not know talent? So I'm frustrated about, not about the list, because we saluted all those guys, but when we start talking about who's got power, that one gets a little touchy-go with me, because I just watched Charlamagne do that Brilliant Idiots episode where he pretty much didn't allow his co-host, since Andrew wasn't there, to get a word in. You telling me about how yo young bull got power, you wouldn't even let her talk. So does she really have power or not? Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. I'm all over the place with this one. Time, love, and support. This is what your boy will never take for granted. Charlamagne says Elliott, he wasn't top five in 2024. I agree. But Elliott is a legendary act in the game that deserves his flowers. Just maybe not as much for the year 2024. How about? If you are like me and love flexing your NBA knowledge, you should head over to the best place to play fantasy sports. That's Underdog Fantasy. For me, I love the pick'em game. It's super simple to play too. All you gotta do is go to the Underdog Fantasy website or app, pick whether a player will have a higher or lower stat line for that game, get all your picks right, and you can win up to 20 times your money. And when you sign up, if you use my code FERRO, your deposit will get doubled. You can't beat that. Again, head over to today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy's website or app, use my code FERRO, and your first deposit will get doubled. Do you want to see your favorite athlete live in action next time they're in your town? Or do you want to see your favorite artist performing in concert next time they're in a city near you? Head over to the SeatGeek website or app and use my code HoopsFerro for $20 off your first purchase. Make sure you subscribe to the It's Mr. Taliaferro YouTube channel, and hey, donate a super chat. Follow me on Facebook at It's Mr. Taliaferro, cop a supporter badge. The Underdog Fantasy promo code is FERRO. The SeatGeek promo code is HoopsFerro. And follow me on Twitter at It's Mr. Ferro.